Dear students, I welcome you all for another beautiful presentation. In today's presentation, I am going to explain the another beautiful topic from engineering mathematics 1, especially for diploma holders, that is matrices. What is that? Matrices. Very important topic. Actually, this is a very important chapter, and you will get number of questions from this chapter, right? Matrices. Right? In this, under this particular matrices, we are going to see what is a matrix, right? What is a matrix, and then what are the types of matrix, what are the types of matrix or matrices, no problem, types of matrices. And then I think then you can say various operations, various operations, various operations on matrices, how various operations can be performed on the matrices, right? And then what is a unitary matrix? What is that? What is a unitary? What is a unitary matrix? That is denoted by the letter I. What is a unitary matrix? And so on so. And next is the, what is the order of a matrix? What is that? Order of a matrix or matrices or matrix, simply you can call matrix, order of a matrix. So these are the very basic things that we are going to see while discussing about these matrices. As we go on discussing these, we can come across all these kinds of things, okay, during our presentations, right? So first of all, what is a matrix first? What is a matrix first? How we can define a matrix? How we can define a matrix? How we can define a matrix? What is a matrix? Normally, a matrix is nothing but it is a rectangular array, a rectangular array of numbers, elements, sometimes expressions, that could be anything, right? So for example, let us say something, just I am defining any numbers, let us say a is equal to, just use a square bracket, right? Use a square bracket. Just I am writing for a simple example, it is 1 2 3 and then 4, right? So if any number a, if you take the number a and the number is denoted or represented in this way, in this square bracket, so in this square bracket I am taking some elements 1 2 3 4, right? Now this is called a rectangular array of elements, rectangular array of elements, right? Sometimes can be expressions also, sometimes any number also, some, okay, that depending on anything, nothing wrong in that. Therefore if you see in this particular, we have, these are the two, what is this? These are the horizontal rows, these are the rows, these are the rows. Actually, how many rows are there? This is one row and this is the second row. Clearly see here, clearly listen very carefully. So just follow on this. So just I am writing this is the arrow mark in this way, means that 1 and 2, these two are 1 and 2, this is called one arrow mark, I mean the first row, and 3 and 4 are the second row. So this is the first row, right? In the first row, what are the elements? 1 and 2. These two are called as the first row elements. And 3 and 4. These are the elements in the second row. Likewise, in horizontal, in horizontal, okay, representation, we have to consider the elements, right? So this is the first row having the elements 1 and 2, and coming to the second row, in the second row we have the element 3 and 4. Similarly, if you see, right, the vertical, so this is 1 and 3 is there, no, this is called the first column, this is called columns, columns, columns. So this is the first column, means in the first column we have the element 1 3, this is the first column, and the second column is 2 and 4. So this is the second column which is having the elements 2 and 4. Therefore, how many rows are there? There are two rows. This is the first row, this is the first row, this is the first one is 1 and 2, having the elements as 1 and 2. Coming to the second one, the second row, 3 4 are the second row, these are the second row, and the elements are 3 and 4. Clear? 1 and 2 are the elements in the first row, right? 3 4 are the elements in the second row. Clear? Coming to the columns, 1 3 are the elements in the first column, 2 4 are the elements in the second column. So in total, how many rows are there? There are two rows. Clearly see here. The two rows are denoted by like this: 2 into 2 into, or sometimes this into can be, can be read as by 2 by. So this first 2 indicates the number of rows, and how many columns are there? 2 columns, therefore 2 columns, therefore 2 by 2, this can be read as 2 by 2, 2 by 2, or 2 into 2. Most of the time 2 by 2. This can be read as, this cross mark or into mark can be read as by b. Okay, 2 by 2. Therefore, the first 2 indicates the number of rows, and the second 2 indicates the number of columns. Am I clear? The first 2 indicates the number of rows, the number of rows, very basics I am trying to explain you, the number of rows. This, so therefore this 2 indicates 2 rows are there in the given rectangular area of the elements, 2 rows are there. Similarly, the second 2 indicates that number of columns, this indicates number of columns. Am I clear? Therefore in brief, therefore in brief, just I am erasing all this, and again I will write freshly, right? So again write the same, just I am taking the same example. A is equal to, take a square bracket, 1 2 3 and then 4. Clear? So I am considering A as certain number, and this particular number has different elements as I indicated in the square bracket as 1 2 3 4. Now we already know that there are 2 rows are there, that 2 rows, therefore I am writing 2 here, because this 2 indicates number of rows. How many rows are there? This is first row, this is the second row. By how many columns are there? Columns are nothing but vertical lines, rows are nothing but horizontal lines. How many horizontals are there? 2 horizontals are there, that indicates rows, and verticals, so these are in this way, vertical 2, so 2 by 2. So this is called a square matrix, this is called a matrix. Now if you can adjust, if you can accommodate any element in a square bracket, and that can be called as with some number a, then that is called as a matrix, that is called as a matrix. And therefore depending on the number of rows and the number of columns it has, that is called as, that can be read as, that can be represented as either 2 by 2 or anything else like that. So for this particular example which I considered, in this I have considered two rows, similarly 2 columns, that is why it is called as a 2 by 2 matrix, 2 by 2 matrix, right? I think you are understanding well. Now coming to the another simple example which I am going to explain now. Say for example, let us consider some other number b. Consider some number b. B is equal to, just I will write like this, 1, 2. Understand? Just I am considering the other number because earlier example we have considered as a. Nothing wrong that you can consider here again a also, but for a difference. Just I am considering it as a b, and this particular b I am considering like this in a square bracket. I am taking two elements. So this is the, again this is a matrix now. This is also one type of the matrix, and always remember that in the matrix the first element, the first thing, something by something we have to write, actually something by something. What is this something? This indicates number of rows, always remember. So the first one, this indicates the number of rows, and the second one indicates the number of columns. Never forget, always remember. So this first thing indicates the number of rows, and the second one indicates the number of columns. Now by seeing this example, now tell me how many rows are there in this given matrix. Okay, so how many rows? We have only one row. We have only one row. Am I correct? We have only one row. What are the elements in that row? 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are the elements in the first row. We have only one row. Is it not? 1. Therefore, in this bracket you can simply write 1. Clear? So, you have to write here 1. Now, coming to the number of columns. How many columns? Columns nothing but the vertical. So this is the first vertical. This is the second vertical. This is the first vertical, first column, and this is the second column. How many columns are there? 2 columns are there. This is the first column, second column. Therefore, how many columns are there? 2 columns. Therefore, right here 2. Therefore, it is called as 1 by 2. I think no confusions, what I hope. You are following well. Therefore, I can write here it is 1 by 2. Am I clear? It is 1 by 2. Why? Because 1 indicates only one row we have. Only one row with the elements 1 and 2. And this second indicates the 2 columns. In the first column we have element 1, and in the second column we have the element 2. Therefore, that can be denoted as 1 by 2. 1 by 2. Clear? Are you getting? And say for example, let us consider one more. See, I am considering another matrix by considering the number as C, and C is equal to, say for example, here for a simple example, A and B, some numbers I am considering, small numbers, A, B, small alphabeticals, right? So this is another example, right? C is equal to, I am writing like this. Now this is also one type of the matrix, one form of the matrix, otherwise one form of the matrix. So C is equal to, in the square brackets I am writing A, B. Now tell me how many rows are there? Something by something we have to write. So how many the first one is always indicates the number of rows, by the second one this indicates the number of columns. Now tell me, by simply observing this particular square bracket, how many rows are there? How many rows are there? So obviously this is the first row, this is the second row. Therefore, in the first row, this is the first row, element A. We have element A in the first row, and in the second row we have the element B. I think don't get any confusion by simply seeing these two examples. Nothing to confuse here. So this is the first row. Actually, in the first row we have element A, and in the second row we have the element B. So therefore, how many rows are there? There are 2 rows. Therefore, write 2 here. Now coming to the column. Column is nothing but, see the vertical line. So these are the horizontal. Rows are nothing but horizontal lines. Okay, the elements which are there in the horizontal. Similarly, coming to the columns, we have to see vertical. Therefore, how many columns are there? Only one column. Only one column. In that column, we have A and B. A and B. Therefore, how many columns are there? One column. Therefore, 1 we have to write. Therefore, it is, what is this? 2 by 1. This can be written as 2 by 1. This is the 2 by 1. This is 2 by 1. Clear? It is a 2 by 1 matrix. It is the 1 by 2 matrix. And the first example, A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. It is the 2 by 2 matrix. It is the 2 by 2 matrix. Right? I hope you are understanding well. Okay. So these are the basic things which I would like to cover in this presentation. And with this, I finish off this particular presentation here, and we'll continue with some more detailed information in our subsequent presentations. Thank you. Thank you very much.